might only be weeks before some work on the quake-damaged Christchurch cathedral site finally begins. Finally is often used in intros, really deserved to be used there. The cathedral has sat desolate since the 2011 earthquake, and the Anglican Church and the heritage groups have waged war over its future ever since. That all came to an end last September when the Synod voted to restore it at a cost of more than $100 million. And today the government announced the company that would be responsible for doing that work is almost ready, almost and finally. But some Christchurch locals think this has taken way too long. Logan Chch reports.
Under the glare of the crumbling Christchurch Cathedral, the Greater Christchurch Regeneration Minister, Megan Woods, announced the joint venture charged with rebuilding it is almost ready to go.
But I think one of the things that the people of Christchurch are looking forward to is starting to see momentum around that building. There'll be a generation of children who will grow up watching a cathedral being built in their square, and that will be quite something special for them.
It's expected to cost $104 million to reinstate the cathedral. This includes grants and loans from the government and the Christchurch City Council, as well as the church's $42 million insurance proceeds. Church property trustees and the Christchurch Cathedral Reinstatement Trust have been locked in negotiations for months to try and hammer out how their joint venture will work. Both parties have now come to an agreement, and today the joint venture's new boss, former investments banker Justin Murray, says he hopes clearing work can begin next month.
The early works will be around site preparation, and as you can imagine, it's not a small project, but we certainly want to get underway with that quickly, and that'll be in the next few weeks.
But Justin Murray says there is still a lot of work to do before work on the main building can begin.
I don't think that there will be stonemasons on site for many months, because you can imagine that preparation work actually needs to be done first, and we need to ensure that in a project of this magnitude that we don't rush in to doing something before we are thoroughly prepared for it.
The government also hopes today's announcements will get people interested in raising money for the restoration. The Great Christchurch Building Trust had previously pledged to fundraise $13.5 million. The Trust's co-chair, Philip Burden, says he's confident it can exceed that.
We have no doubt we can raise the $13.5 million we talked about, but hopefully we can raise usefully more. It's going to happen, and we're delighted to, of course, provide whatever assistance we can.
But not everyone is happy with the pace of all this work. Christchurch locals in Cathedral Square today said it's taken way too long to restore what's been dubbed a bomb site.
They keep spending all this time getting groups together to make a decision, and it's almost like the group to make the decision is making another group to make another, and it just seems to be no one's actually making the main decision to get something done, and then once it is decided, it just takes forever.
I suppose I'll just watch and hold my breath and watch this space.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath for a wee while, do you think so?
I might run out of breath. Yeah. So, no, it's a sorry state of affairs there now, isn't it?
Well, it's just dragged on, and there's been a lot of talking and incredible lack of action. Amazing. I'd like to see some progress being made, doing some work.
The final sign-off on the joint venture is expected in the coming weeks. But don't hold your breath for the cathedral to be finished anytime soon. Megan Woods says it could take up to 10 years. In Christchurch for Checkpoint, call Logan Chch Tēnei.